Mama June meets daughter Pumpkin and Honey Boo Boo in a tense situation after almost a year. Know about their expressions. Mama June and her daughter's reunion is finally here. Mama June got to meet Pumpkin and Honey Boo Boo after so long. They have not seen each other for almost a year. So how was it like when they came face to face after so long? The teaser clips reveal the expression of June and her daughters. Let us look into the details below. Mama June. Know how June reacts after seeing her daughters. June was excited and nervous at the same time to know that she will be meeting her daughters. The Sun brings the teaser clip where you can see how the reunion of the mother and daughters went. June is seen impatiently waiting for Pumpkin and Honey Boo Boo to arrive. On the other side, both daughters first meet Dr. Eichmajer before seeing June. Pumpkin asks him whether Gino is there with June or not. Dr. Ish informs daughters that he was there before, but has gone now. Dr. Ish further says, "But he was here for a good reason. He had some things he wanted to talk to me about himself, about June, and more importantly, about you guys." The daughters are then asked whether they are ready to meet. The reply was positive, and then they went into the room to see June. Mama June wore a big smile on her face when she saw her daughters and said, "Oh my God." She was full of emotion at that particular moment. She happily says, "What are y'all bitches doing?" Furthermore, June asks for a hug from her daughters. It was a happy moment for the family. Fans are waiting for more conversation between the mother and the daughters. Will June finally be able to mend broken relationships? The viewers eagerly want to know what will happen after the reunion. Will June be able to maintain her relationship with Pumpkin and Honey Boo Boo or not? They have seen her struggle ever since the start. But compared to June, her daughter's struggles are way bigger. However, now June wants to make things right, which she spilled before. For that, she needs to stay closer to her daughters and communicate more. She has proved herself by remaining sober for a year now. However, she still has a long way to go improving. At the same time, June needs to stay there with her boyfriend, Gino. And Pumpkin made it clear that she does not like Gino by not making him come to the reunion. But Gino does want to have an equal chance as June to mend relationships. Gino does know that he can make things fall into the right place when given the chance. So will he get a chance to meet Pumpkin and Honey Boo Boo? Will June further try to take away Honey Boo Boo from Pumpkin? There are so many questions to be answered. Fans will need to have the patience to know what happens next. We hope June and her family, Gino and 4 daughters, to be together one day. Mama June Shannon's family drama continues to keep fans hooked. And this time the spotlight is on her rare reunion with daughters Lauren Pumpkin Effard and Alana Honey Boo Boo Thompson after nearly a year apart. It wasn't just a simple mother-daughter meeting. It carried with it the heavy weight of the past, emotions left unsaid, and the raw tension that has long defined their strained relationship. Viewers and followers of the Shannon family know that every gathering brings fireworks, but this particular meeting carried an air of unpredictability that could either signal healing or deepen the rift. The reunion came as a surprise for many, given that Mama June has spent much of the last few years rebuilding her life following her struggles with substance abuse, legal issues, and financial woes. While she has often spoken publicly about her efforts to change, to many of her children, including Pumpkin and Honey Boo Boo, words have not always been enough. Their distance from her was not just physical but emotional, layered with years of broken trust, missed milestones, and public embarrassment. So when the time finally came for them to be in the same room again, the atmosphere was thick with both anticipation and caution. Observers of the tense encounter noted how the body language of all 3 spoke volumes before any words were even exchanged. Mama June, dressed casually but with an air of forced confidence, carried herself in a way that suggested she was bracing for rejection yet hoping for forgiveness. Her eyes darted between her daughters, searching for any sign of openness. Pumpkin, now a mother herself and fiercely protective of her younger sister, stood firm and composed, her expression guarded but determined. She has long played the role of protector and provider, stepping up to raise Honey Boo Boo, while Mama June was absent. This dynamic has given her a maturity and strength that made her look less like a daughter and more like the matriarch of the family. Honey Boo Boo, meanwhile, displayed a mix of vulnerability and defiance. Still a teenager but having grown up in the public eye. During the reunion, she oscillated between soft moments of longing and hard stares of disappointment. At one point, her folded arms and furrowed brow made it clear that forgiveness would not come easily. Yet there was also a flicker of hope in her expression, the kind of unspoken yearning every child has for their parent, no matter the circumstances. The conversation reportedly began with awkward small talk, as if all parties were circling around the real issues. Mama June tried to smile, her voice tinged with nervous laughter, but her daughters weren't in the mood for superficial pleasantries. Pumpkin eventually steered the conversation toward accountability, making it clear that the reunion wasn't about sweeping problems under the rug. She demanded honesty and change, not just excuses. Mama June, to her credit, acknowledged past mistakes, but also tried to emphasize the progress she claims to have made in her recovery. She spoke about wanting to be part of their lives again, to be present in ways she had failed to be before. But as much as Mama June expressed remorse, the tension was palpable. Pumpkin's raised eyebrows and clipped responses reflected skepticism. Alana, meanwhile, remained mostly quiet, her eyes revealing a storm of emotions. She has often said publicly that actions speak louder than words, and during this meeting, her silence seemed to embody that sentiment. The reunion was not the warm embrace some fans may have hoped for, but it was real, raw, and full of meaning. What made the encounter even more compelling was the way the daughters' roles have evolved over time. Pumpkin, barely out of her teens herself, has had to take on parental duties, managing Alana's schooling, emotional well-being, and overall stability. This has created a dynamic where she no longer sees Mama June as the authority figure she once was. Instead, Pumpkin views her mother through the lens of someone who must prove herself, just as a child would expect from a parent who had abandoned responsibilities. This inversion of roles was visible in their interactions. Pumpkin standing tall, Mama June almost shrinking under the weight of her daughter's questions. Fans online have been buzzing with their interpretations of the meeting, dissecting every expression and gesture. Some believe Mama June is genuinely trying to reconnect, pointing out the vulnerability in her eyes and her attempts to listen more than speak. Others, however, remain doubtful, insisting that the family has been through too much heartbreak to ever fully repair the bond. For Honey Boo Boo supporters, her expressions during the meeting were the hardest to watch. The young star's mix of hope and heartbreak reflected the internal conflict of a child who still loves her mother, but cannot forget the pain of being left behind. Social media exploded with comments as soon as word of the reunion spread. Fans empathized with Pumpkin's protective stance, applauded Alana's strength, and debated whether Mama June deserves another chance. Some argued that redemption is always possible, especially for someone fighting to overcome addiction, while others warned that history often repeats itself. What nearly everyone agreed on, however, was that the daughters' emotional expressions told the true story of the reunion far more than words ever could. As the reunion wrapped up, there were no dramatic hugs or tearful reconciliations. Instead, there was a tentative understanding that this was just one step in a long journey. For Mama June, the meeting was both a chance to prove her sincerity and a reminder of the uphill battle she faces in regaining her daughter's trust. For Pumpkin and Honey Boo Boo, it was a test of strength, a moment to confront their pain while setting boundaries for the future. Whether this reunion leads to healing or further estrangement remains to be seen, but one thing is clear: the Shannon family continues to captivate audiences with their unfiltered reality. Their story isn't one of polished perfection, but of raw human struggle, the kind that makes viewers reflect on their own families, their own forgiveness, and their own resilience. For now, fans will have to wait and watch to see whether Mama June can truly turn her words into action, and whether her daughters are ready, or even willing, to open the door for her again. The tension in their expressions may not have resolved into smiles this time, but it revealed the deep love, hurt, and complexity that lies at the heart of every family reunion, especially one delayed for almost a year. The Shannon family saga never seems to slow down, and now Lauren Pumpkin Ifford has found herself in the spotlight once again, this time with a revelation that has fans buzzing and the internet ablaze. Pumpkin, already carrying the heavy responsibility of raising her younger sister Alana Honey Boo Boo Thompson, while building a life with husband Joshua Ifford, is reportedly pregnant with baby number 2. The news